Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF 44 coming at you another video. All right, so I haven't done a therapy session in about a week, probably a little more than that, actually. But I've been in this camera left and right because the Lakers have been giving me so much to talk about. But I figured I'd decompress a little bit and give you guys a therapy session because I got information on my circumstance in regards to my living situation. So I know now that my date for which I'm supposed to be in court is on the 5th of May, which is about 28 days from now. So at least we know exactly when that's supposed to be done. Let me make sure I got that right. I ain't gonna play with that. Since I'm talking here, we're gonna make damn sure I got that date right. Yeah, no, that's why. That's exactly why we need to do that. 5-3, so it's the 3rd of May. 3rd of May to be exact. Not 5th, 3rd. That's why we check. I'm glad I was able to see myself make that mistake for the sake of being thorough and making it right. So that's really what's going on. I'm actually feeling pretty at peace. I've went through so many ups and downs in regards to this circumstance over the last 2 weeks. Being upset, went to depression, went through just battling, and I've come full circle to improve my energy once again. Feeling pretty confident, praying like I should be doing, content like I should be doing, and kind of having some breakthroughs as to why I've been doing certain things, how I found myself in certain positions, in that I've been praying prayers just the same that have put me in a position to feel confident that even though things have not been done correctly, they still have been done in the right spirit. And I've been working on doing things that can propel me forward with an identity, or not identity, but with a certain level of confidence and skills that I didn't have before this process. So whoever I'm leaving this apartment to be, it's definitely going to be the BDF on top of that, which I wasn't necessarily before. So it's one of those situations where I wish I could tell you guys, and my brain was telling me to have anxiety about this situation as of right now, but I think it's because it's so many days out that I don't feel any anxiety at all. But the reality of the situation feels as if I've been in denial about it, a great deal of denial about it. But certain things that had to align with my plan to fix this are falling in place as well. I got my health card today, and one of the most important things for me was to get my mind checked, so that if anything, I can tell people, yo, I've been going through something. Maybe I can get myself some SSI benefits, something like that. Since all of this is documented anyway on this channel, you know what I mean? It's about 400 people who are aware of my mental state. Maybe that can kind of help my situation in regards to the uniqueness of my condition, or what I perceive to be my condition. Hopefully someone else can help me figure out what exactly I've been dealing with all my life, and then from there tell me exactly what I need to do to function the way that I would like to. So I couldn't necessarily do that without healthcare, and I was more or less dragging my feet on getting that process started. But I finally got that health card in the mail, so I don't have any more reasons not to get that done. Of course, with this circumstance being as it is, it'll just by default force me into needing to do so. So it's something I've always needed to do, start the process of getting some therapy, and I hope to do that before the process. I'd like to have some information on what it is I'm going through mentally before I go into that courtroom, because that's ultimately what this is. This is me making certain decisions with my choices and my mindset, and being self-aware of those choices, still not able to overcome myself and what it is I've decided within the choices I've made. And so that has to be some type of health condition. And I think if they can prove that I'm not just some lazy dude that doesn't know any better but to sit in his house for a whole year, if they can prove that I'm normal, then I'll leave it alone. I'll just go back to work and try to find a way to cope with my stresses. But I cannot absolutely imagine that this would be deemed as normal behavior. It's just not. That's why this therapy session process began. That's why I started the channel to begin with. It's because I've been dealing with stuff that I don't know how to deal with. And that's not cap. So it is what it is, man. I sit in a situation in a bit of a crisis, but at the same time, on the verge of something great possibly happening as well at the same time. So that's what it's always been, as you guys know. I'm confident. They haven't covered. For those who know what I'm talking about, know exactly what I'm talking about. They ain't covered. I'm still old, even now. So still got plenty. And that's really what it comes down to. So as I know that thing could pop at any minute and leave us with just as much of a possibility of things getting better as they would have been if things were not even possible in that regard. So that's the thing. It's like I don't believe I would have done any of this if I didn't have that possibility in mind. If there was just no chance of things ever getting better in my mind, I would have kept my job. But it was the AMC possibility that allowed this brain to say, you know what, no more, no more, and then condition myself to where I couldn't override that when it was necessary, just like I've done many times in my life without help. So that's where we're at, man. I think good things are coming from here. I'm open to good things coming from here. I'm open to kind of knowing a little more about what it is from a scientific standpoint as to what people would deem this is, and being open-minded to understanding that science has only gotten but so far, and to understand the human brain requires a lot more than what we know right now. So to not be married to anything they tell me about me, and certainly don't be open to taking every medication, because that's not something I'm looking to really do at all, given the fact that I don't think I actually need it, nor do I think any type of medication is going to make me want to go outside. And do you have medication like that? No. Most of the stuff that's out there is going to either get you up or get you down. I don't need help with either. So what I need is help starting the process of new conditioning, and to pick up the pieces of where I left off in certain things that I might have missed while I was sitting in the house, that have helped me condition myself properly to be who I need to be outside. If outside is actually where people are headed anyway, because it seems to me that everything is kind of becoming remote. And then I look in my mind and I say I overthink, I underthink, and I often forget what I've already assessed. But a lot of what I also have done here is effectively protecting myself from the pandemic, which I think a lot of people have forgotten is still very much something we need to consider, if not steer fear. So, a lot of times I think that is also a big part of what I've done subconsciously here. Just stay the hell away from COVID. But either way, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, over the last couple of days particularly, I felt very confident about what it is I'm doing. My art has gotten better. My channel, I've been able to push these videos out and feel more enthusiastic about what I'm talking about than ever. Talking about these Lakers, I've enjoyed my own content probably more than I have in a while. So what can I say, man? That means a lot to be able to enjoy my own thing, because it speaks to the self-love that was lacking in the past, and not being able to be a fan, so to speak, of myself. But that's not what it is when I'm talking about what it is that I love to do. So made a playlist last night, been dealing with Apple Music app and their continued attack on my spirit. It's more or less what I call it, vibe killers that they are, with their deliberate monkey wrenches on the process of making playlists, just to be, we've already talked about it, just to get people to buy iPhones and stuff, and go to Samsung Music respectively, But I'm not going to switch because I have too many playlists already created that would have to be manually done. That's a job that I'm going to hire somebody else to do someday. I'm not trying to do all of that. But in the meantime, I'm still trying to use Apple Music's app on my phone, and it's giving me more trouble than it ever has. And I was lucky enough to have the temperament last night to make a playlist, and I haven't yet to listen to it because it's more of a nighttime R&B type of thing. But the Lisa D 330 is done, and that's what it is, man. Just enjoying myself, feeling really confident that the things that I'm doing are not in vain, that I'm getting better at what I'm doing, and I'm going to be able to make things happen one way or another with all that I'm putting together. And continuing my workout process. I've adapted well to not having my fridge. It still ain't here. I'm not surprised. They said it was going to be about a month out before they even ship it based on the COVID processing. After I read that, I realized this thing may not come at all. $50 free shipping for a fridge. You're probably not going to... It's probably tossed up in the air if it even arrives. But that's really where we're at. I'm still waiting on the fridge, but I've adjusted well to the food. In fact, I've done better with this food than I would have did with anything else that I put in the fridge. Ironically enough, my body hasn't had really any digestive issues since I made the switch to canned goods. String beans, rice, little stuff like that, little soup that you can put on top of the rice, corn, mixed veggies. My body digests that stuff like it's the best thing I've ever had. My body's reacting better to it than it did the other stuff that I was missing all this time, thinking I needed my fridge. So it's kind of weird how you can adapt when you're intent on it, and my body is okay. So doing my workouts and all that, loving the results that I'm getting, continuing to get in better and better shape, which is something that can improve the confidence. But I'm keeping it to myself. I'm too old to be taking my shirt off, showing people what it is I'm got going on right here. But I look better than I did when I was in my 20s. So that's the goal, to keep that up. So that's just where I'm at, man. Trying to train like the athletes. I learned from a guy like Skip Bayless. He never wanted to be a guy talking about athletes without being in the same shape they're in. That's essentially how I'm moving these days. I'm trying to get in the same shape my Lakers are in from within my house, believe it or not. So I don't think I'm getting in that type of shape. But for a 38-year-old dude, I can keep up with people, I think, a little more than I've been able to in the past. So that's really what it's about, just getting in shape for whatever's next, for health, for nothing, for moving, which may be really, really, really soon. So it is what it is, man. Letting God guide my steps. I know I've put in the right prayers, been saying the right stuff, making myself an asset to the Lord, so to speak, I hope. And through my Laker channel, also displaying my passion and my angst and my desire for people to do better within that team. And that's really where my head's at. It's not in necessarily my problems. Like I said, I feel like I'm in denial about those anyway, to a degree. But I also feel like I've been praying about them just the same, to not allow myself to go completely outside of what it is that I'm doing, while I'm not going insane, trying to think about it. So it's a big, complicated. You know what I mean? It's like I give it to God and I leave it alone, and I just let Him suggest to me how to move. And so far, He suggested just fine. He got me in a space where I got my health card the same day I got, you know what I mean? Like, all the times I thought I was putting it off, which I was, but when He told me to do it, the timing was right so that I would get the health card and the court date on the same day. So it's like, if you trust His timing and you're doing what you're supposed to do with your spirit, He'll align you with what it is you're supposed to get. And that's essentially what's been coming to me over these last couple of days. Like the test that I was going through in March, I came through it. The attack, it didn't crush me. It didn't pull me away from God. It just staggered me a little bit. And now I'm in better shape than I would have. The whole fridge situation, clearly I knocked that out the park. So like all these little attacks, my situation with my buddy over there, I just distanced myself from her to a degree. At some point in time, you just got to say, yo, if people keep backing themselves into to hurting you, and you just sitting there like, oh my God, I'm just getting the worst of it, and they're like, well, don't feel so bad because I really care about it. And you keep getting hurt. It's like, all right, you're a porcupine. I'm going to keep my distance, and I'm going to keep my mind right. And so that's what I've been doing, praying energy that will allow me to be okay, and independent of that, whatever she brings to the table. And if I'm able to manage that in better ways, then I won't ever have to find myself feeling bad about anything she's doing or anyone else is doing, for that matter. And so that's what it's about. Keeping my mind on what it is I'm doing, continue to work my progressions for my God and myself, and then just let Him continue to give me this content and give me these art ideas and stuff like that, and we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. I'm definitely gonna continue to do it regardless of where I'm at. I can tell you that much for sure. So that's where my head is. I just wanted to give you guys a therapy session. It's kind of been on my mind to give you one lately. I just know I've been neglecting that, but Lakers gave me plenty to vent about. Those were therapy sessions. If you guys are watching, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I vented more over there than I do over here. So that's what it is, man. Looking forward to the game tonight. Looking forward to getting all of this past me, and looking forward to meeting the expectations of myself as it pertains to what the plan is between now and the 3rd of May. Because at the end of the day, there are things I'm going to have to do that may have to require me leaving the house more than once over the next couple of weeks until that day. So, that's what I say to myself. Just don't worry about it. Listen to the timing of your heart, and don't hesitate when the Lord tells you to do something. Also, keep in mind that the hope that I have is not gone for good things happening within what it is that I'm doing. Because at the end of the day, the God I believe in, has shown me the timing within this circumstance all the way up until right now. So for all I know, the squeeze is a couple days from now, I ain't got to worry about money at all. Who knows? But even if that ain't the case, He has a plan, and that plan is going to allow me to keep my faith. So that's really what it is, man. I encourage everybody to keep on praying for everybody. If you pray for everybody, it's going to definitely blow back on me at some point, and I can use those prayers for sure. So that is it, man. I'll be praying for you and your family too, no matter who you are, no matter how much I might offend in the Laker videos. I don't mean no harm. I just want to see my team win, and that is a separate energy from all of this over here, which is human and trying to be better and all of that other stuff. So that's what I gotta say, man. Hope everybody's having a good day. It's great weather in Los Angeles right now, And if you can stomach the anxiety of life like I cannot, then I hope that you're enjoying that sunshine if you're in this city or anywhere you may be for that matter. BDF 44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.